How's it going, everybody? So let's do another big, gigantic prep. I don't know. Everything just, I don't know, just really digging this date. They brought down the Tropicana in Vegas. The Trop, of course, damaged in the storm. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. Bush said, "Do you not know that an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs the storm?" So everything's done on a spiritual realm. Humans, man doesn't move the spirit, spirit moves man, and everything that goes on around you takes place in a world you can't see. We remember in the book of Daniel how uh, I believe, well, one of the angels, Michael or Gabriel, I think it was Michael, um, who was, I think, Daniel's spirit prince, said he must, or the angel said he must go help Michael fight the prince of Persia or something like that. So there's things taking place in other dimensions, and I'm paraphrasing, so don't take me. I've just completed I'll be starting my 15th Daniel study very soon at Trey Stokes Daily Bible Studies. But uh, what angel helps Michael fight against the prince of Persia? Book of Daniel. So battle between Angel Michael and the prince of Persia. So who is the guardian angel of Persia? Who is Michael the archangel in the book of Daniel? What angel did Michael fight? So you're going to get a lot of stuff. Who is the prince of Persia? Daniel 10. Highly apocalyptic, therefore, book, blah, blah, blah. Later, the angel speaking to Daniel predicts further, soon I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. So it was that angel. So that angel told Daniel that he's got to get moving. He's going to go fight the prince of Persia. Well, that's in another realm. That's in another dimension. Don't trust God questions for truth. They just give you Bible verses. So anyway, let's get on with it. So Lee Corso, they've really been pushing him all this time. And I didn't prep it. Hang on. I thought I did. But anyway, Lee Corso, they keep propping him up. It's kind of like that movie where they propped up the dead guy. What movie do they prop up the dead guy? Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. I'd like to run that release date to Lee Corso's birthday. So he's incompetent. He's suffered strokes and so forth. He's 89 years old on the rising day. Okay, 89 years, 5 months, 5 days. But look at his age. 32,666 on the rising day. Look at the weeks. 4,666 in 4 days. So you got a palindrome for 6664. You got 666 in the weeks and 666 in the days. Lee Corso to the rising day of January 11th. Boom. Direct smash hit. So Rodney King, that was on March 3rd, 1991. I just blanked it off. Sorry. I clicked it off accidentally. March 3rd, 1991. That's 33, by the way, in case you're playing along at home. So that incident is 33 years, 10 months, 8 days to the rising day. But it is 12,368. 68 is Antichrist in one of the base ciphers, as we've shown you many times. 66 on the day of the event, representing 66 book of the Bible. Rodney King. Again, the college football playoff, there is a game on that Thursday. And I'm telling you, Texas Longhorns will be playing in that game. That is just a fleshly prediction, like all of this is. I don't have any divine intervention giving me any of this. I'm in the flesh. When we are living in the Bible in real time, that could be a different story. January 20th, 1984, because the Earth is only supernatural when you're living in the Bible in real time. So The Killing Moon from Donnie Darko, single Echo and the Bunnyman. By the way, Hey Jude stood alone. Wasn't even on an album. We're going to get to that. January 20th, 1984. When you run that to the event day, you have 149, which is Antichrist. Let's go ahead and bring up Antichrist. Antichrist is 49 and 149, and there's your 68 that we just showed you. So this, the 49ers, there's 149. So the Killing Moon is 149 Antichrist, 66 representing Book of the Bible. It's 40 years, biblical number, 11 months, 21 days. There's your 121 Antichrist. Look at the weeks, 138 weeks. 138 is Donald Trump and civil gematria. You run it to the rising day, 148, 68. I'm sorry, 149, 68. 149 is Antichrist. 68 is Antichrist. It's a double Antichrist. This is a prominent The Killing Moon, Donnie Darko. That's a prominent song. Oh, brother. The Killing Moon. The Killing Moon was featured in 2001 film Donnie Darko, setting the tone for the opening scene. Folks, it opens the movie. Look how every bit of that is Antichrist, Antichrist. And Donald Trump, 138. If we haven't found our date, they have really gone out of their way to make us think it, haven't they? And then Never Tear Us Apart from Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko, Never Tear Us Apart by NXS. That was on the other version, or the director's cut. The Killing Moon versus Never Tear Us Apart. So it depends on whether you're watching the theatrical. So they want you to pay attention to both of them. There was no single release date. It came off of the album Kick, which was released October 19th. So there's your 19. It's also 119 Donald. October 10, drop the 0. 1 19th, 119 Donald. So, I mean, it's already popping from that sense. But we'll run it 1987. I thought I had it pulled up. It must not be anything. October 19th, 1987. $135.97. The 135th prime number is 761, which is the amount of combined verses Daniel and Revelation. And that 135.97, 97th verse is opening the seal. If you click both dates, you have 135.98, which is Revelation 6:2, the white horse crowning Bible verse. If you run it to the rising day, you then get 13,600, that 136. Remember, 36 is Adam in the Jewish Hebrew gematria, the most biblical. So let's keep plugging along. This prep is ginormous. January 9th, birthdays, January 11th. We'll get to that. So Bill Maher did a movie called Pizza Man, where the bad guy in the movie was Donald Trump. Donald Trump had stiffed a guy with pizza, with a tip, and he was famous for that. And this man, in this Pizza Man's folklore, it was all about finding the person that stiffed the world's best pizza delivery guy. And of course, the bad guy was Donald Trump, played by Simon Richards. Sounds a lot like Richard Simmons. Go figure. So Bill Maher, all the world's a stage. Pretends to hate. Of course, he cited that Trump is a set of twins, Ronald Trump and Donald Trump, so on and so forth. So there's the Bill Maher Pizza Man, December 6, 1991. December 6, 1991. So you got the 19 and 91, which is what? It's January 9th. Written in either way, depending on the country. You run it to the event date, 120/88. 12,088 days to the event date of Pizza Man. 33 years, 1 month, 3 days. So you have your 33 fused with 13.3, the Zerbruder film. Perfect. I mean, these things, the way they start hitting, really, really, really makes you think that we have found our date. Because everything, and I told somebody the other day that when we find our date, everything will start bouncing off of it. Everything will start bouncing off of it. Let's go to the next. Pizza Man again. Okay. I think I have to go in and cut this out. Christopher Lloyd's birthday. So he's October 22nd, 1938. And looks like internet's not working. There it goes. October 22nd, 1938. So he has that 149, doesn't he? 31491 days on the event day. It'll be 93 on the rising day. 86 years old he will be. 86, of course, 86. To eliminate. So Christopher Lloyd had the right eye wound. And Back to the Future. The internet is definitely acting up for sure. Let me pause for a second, see if I can. All right, I think maybe everything's streamlined back. So Michael J. Fox is June 9th or 69, 1961. So you have your 69 and 96, or your 96 and 96. Either way you want to slice it. When you run him to our event day, you have Satan, which is 232 in the Jewish gematria, which they show you at the beginning of the Bill Maher show. 23225, 23227. Again, 232 is Satan in the Jewish most biblical. He's a perfect 63 years, 7 months, or a perfect 763 months. So notice 763, 63, 7. Nothing gigantic going on there, but is what it is. Daniel Craig is 207.67 on the event day. 207.69 on the rising day. 207 is 119 Donald plus 88 Trump. So that's a direct smash hit. It's 207.70 on the rising day if you include both dates. Either way. Christian Bale, Bale on Christianity. When you run him to the rising day, he is that perfect 50 years, 11 months, 13 days. So you have your 11.3 coded. And 611 months, 13 days. So you have your 61113. So you have your 111 for rising. You have your fused with 113, which represents rising. It's one World Trade Tower open. Lord of the Ring, the two towers. Lord of the Ring, Return of the King. One World Trade Tower represents the return of the Antichrist on 11.3, which is opposite 311, which is opposite 9/11 on a circular calendar. So 611 months, 13 days, again, has your 61113. It has an upside down 9/11 as 611. It has your 11.3. So it's all about rising on the rising day, Christian Bale. It's about as perfect as you can get, the way that lines up. Fascinating. All right, let's go to the next. So there's Hey Jude. I don't have any of these prepped, so let me go ahead and prep them up. Last election was on 11/3, by the way. Would have been the 7th anniversary of One World Trade Tower, if not mistaken. One World Trade Tower, November 3rd, 2014. So it was the 6th anniversary of One World Trade Tower. All right, so hang on. Let me get all these cranked up. I think we're ready to go here. So, Hey Jude, the song, August 26th, 1968, length 712, cleansing church. Jude is right before Revelation. So if you run it to the day before, the book of Revelation would be opened in real time on the 9th. The right eye wound, which begins, it's the 3-day event of the crowning. So anyway, it's 20,589. 589 is Donald Trump in the Jewish most biblical gematria. That's outstanding. That's mind-boggling right there. So, yeah. Looking at anything else that I can. All right. But that's just mind-blowing. There's a film called Hey Jude, of course, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day 2018, 6 years, 11 months, 7 days. That is a upside down 9/11 fused with 11/7, which is what 9/11 was all about, because September was once the 7th month. So 7/11 in their world, or cryptically hidden. Most countries write it the other direction. So it was on 11/7. Revelation 11/7 is beast rising from the pit. What rose up from September 11th? One World Trade Tower 11/3, which is opposite 3/11. We remember that in 2020, which is opposite 9/11 on a circular calendar. 2533 days, their number 33 also. 83 months, 7 days. 83 is murder. And one of the base ciphers, it's also devil. The Hey Jude movie is 6.8. Again, 68 is Antichrist. It has 38 in the URL, which is death and murder. Turnout for the election on November 3rd, 666%. Turnout 66.6%. Dated November 3rd. So Rising of the Antichrist and 666 coded with your 2020 election. Perfect. So the movie 9.5 weeks. Well, it's 9.5 weeks from the election to what took place in 2020 and January 2021 and what will be taking place again this year, theoretically speaking. Because our election this year on 11/5/2024 to the Rising Day, it's 9 weeks, 4 days. That's 9.5 weeks. So you have to start looking at the film 9.5 weeks. Came out in 86, of course, to 86. URL has the 916, which is all about how they are reversing the 9 and the 6, and the Janus, the month that sees forwards and backwards. We've been over that many times. And 9.5 weeks, released on February 21st, 1986. To the event day, 38 years. So there's your 38, 466 months. There's your book of Revelation, 66 book of the Bible, 38 death and murder. But it's 10 months, 19 days, or your 119 Donald. When you run it to the Rising Day, it then turns into 38 years, 10 months, 21 days, or 121 Antichrist. So they buzzed that one pretty perfect for us. 9.5 weeks. What's next? We wanted to look at Valkyrie. Well, it's 121 minutes. Tom Cruise has I think it's his right eye wound patch over his eye, or is Tom Cruise Valkyrie? So it's his left eye patch. So they just mirrored it. But it's 121 minutes. 121 is Antichrist and Simple Gematria, where A is 1, Z is 26. Came out on Christmas Day. Valkyrie is also a it's like the god Odin's, something to do with Wednesday or Odin. Freaky. So Valkyrie, 2008, on the pagan Christmas day to the rising day, it's 5861 days. 586 is the year Israel went into captivity. It's 16 years, 17 days. You have your 617 code, which the 113 rising, the 113th prime number is 617. That's why OJ Whitehorse was all took place on June 17th, 617, because it was AC on the white horse, on the white Bronco. It was all about the rising. So that's interesting about Valkyrie. We then move to when he rode the beast at the Daytona 500. 500 is Antichrist, G500 in Strong's Concordance. To our murder date, it's 1,790 days. 79 is murder and Simple Gematria. So they aced that up perfectly. Utter perfection. 3/11/2020 to our rising date, you have 1,768 days. Well, 76 is Adam in Strong's Concordance. He is the Black Adam, and it's fused with 68, which we've shown you as Antichrist. It's also the reversing of 86. So that's pretty perfect. Now we get into the transfer portal of time. We got into the transfer portal a long time ago, back in 2022. They were having the Dr. Pepper transfer portal commercials. And we realized that January 10th, or that January of 2022, is the exact overlay of the Donnie Darko calendar month of October 1988. And Donnie talked about portals with his teacher on the 10th of October. So on the 10th of January, that was the college football game, playoff game, or national championship game. It was the transfer portal Dr. Pepper commercials. And we saw that you can go backwards and forwards, adding and subtracting from that date, and you would land on things that corresponded with each other. And like you went back 37 days, you landed on a total solar eclipse. You went up 37 days, you landed on the snow full moon. I believe that was on 2/16 also, 6 times 6 times 6, or February 16th. And you went back 465 days. That's when Trump said he had the illness, which was the name of the outer ring of a total solar eclipse. You went up 465 days, and you landed on a total solar eclipse. Corona means crown. Corona is the outer ring of a total solar eclipse. He said he had it on October 2nd, 2020. Back 465 days from the transfer portal of time date of Janus Tenet, or January 10th. That's the movie Tenet. Janus sees forwards and backwards. The number 10 forwards and backwards is the movie Tenet. So you went backwards, and we might as well look at Tenet to the transfer portal date to see if we get a 109 or 111. Tenet Wikipedia movie. It always jacks us up when we do that. So and It's August 26th and September 3rd. So August 26th and September 3rd. Let's run it. It's a palindrome of 494 days, so it's the same number going backwards and forwards. There you go. And 49 is Antichrist. So that's Tenet, September 3rd, 2020 release date to the transfer portal of time, Janus Tenet. So the transfer portal, on the day he goes down, it portals, because the transfer portal, January 10th, 2022. Don't you know from the event, the transfer portal to the event of January 9th, when you add 1,095 days, it lands on the event on the day of the event. When you subtract it, moving it backwards through the portal, it lands on the rising day, January 11th. Yes, 2019, but you see what it's doing. Death and rising. Death on the 9th, rising on the 11th. That's what the transfer portal apparently was all about. If that's when he goes down, then that's what it was telling us the whole time. And then you run Tenet to the rising day. It's a perfect 1,600 days when you include both dates. The other date to the event day ends up being 1,589. 589 is Donald Trump in the Jewish gematria, the most biblical. So it's perfect. The film Tenet, release date on September 3rd, 2-hour event day, January 9th. It's perfect. 1,589. 589 is Donald Trump in the Jewish gematria, the most biblical. It's where we get the number of the man. Then you got the movie Amsterdam. It had 2 showings, had a premiere and a wide release. So on Amsterdam, you have 2 years, 3 months, 2 days, 232 again is Satan in the Jewish most biblical gematria. And you're at 117 weeks, 6 days. Revelation 11:7 fused with 76 Adam. He is the Black Adam. So that's kind of perfect. Then you run it to the rising day. Let me see here. There's just a palindrome 828 when you include both dates. Then Amsterdam had another release date of September 18th. That movie is so big because it has all the actors of all the movies. It's 2 years, 3 months, 22 days. So it's 322 code, 100% on our event day. If you include both dates to the rising day, it's a perfect 121 weeks. That's Antichrist. The movie Amsterdam featured every single actor and actress you can possibly imagine that has anything to do with these end times. Got Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington. John wrote the book of Revelation. David, Jesus came from David. Washington, the first president representing, all the presidents represent the Antichrist. They have him as a god as in the apotheosis. Chris Rock, Anna Taylor-Joy, Mike Myers, Michael Shannon, who told you the storm was coming, screamed it. Taylor Swift, Robert De Niro, and of course the bad guy that killed James Bond. They're all in this movie. So Amsterdam is the big tell, and you just saw it. That's impossible, and it nailed it. 232, Satan, 121, Antichrist. It had it all. 322, Skull and Bones. It had it all. It had it all. Let's keep plugging along. We're almost done. The day the music died, the plane crash took place, American Pie, February 3rd, the day after Groundhog Day, 1959. When you run it to the event day, it's 65 years, 11 months, 6 days. It's backwards, upside down, 9/11 that they showed you in Back to the Future. It's 791 months, 6 days. So that's 79 murder fused with that 916 code, which is the 9 flipping to the 6, which is what this is all about. What they did on the 6th, the last January after the election, what they'll be doing on the 9th. When I say they, I'm talking about Mystery Babylon. Then there's the song American Pie, May 26, 1971. 2-Hour Rising Day, 19,000, which 19, that's the date, 19, 589. 19,589. 589 again is Donald Trump in the simple, I'm sorry, in the Jewish gematria, the most biblical, the Jewish Hebrew gematria. 2,798 weeks. 79 is murder. 98th verse is the murder in Revelation. It's perfect. Oh, man. It's too perfect. Colin Kaepernick, of course, born. Why was he such a big deal? Why did they make him? Well, 37 on the 86ing day, 135.82, 135th prime number. Again, is 761, the amount of verses combined in both end times, Daniel and Revelation. On the event day, he'll also be 37 years, 2 months, 6 days. So that's 726 fused with 37, prime number for the church, and Antichrist is 726. Killing it. Run it to the rising day, 135.84. Again, 84 is 12 times 7, or cleansing of the church. Trump to Colin Kaepernick, 15,000, 11.7. So these players are chosen for different reasons. It's all about their esoteric world. The film The Big Short, November 12th, and then the opposite, December 11th. So 11/12 and then 12/11. The Big Short. Would you believe it? To our 109 date or our 19 date or our January 9th date, it's 109 months. It's 9 years, 1 month. So you have 9/1 and 19 or 109, which is how you can write the date, 109. That's what PT 109 was all about. And then the 12/11 date, 33/19. 9 years, 1 month even, or 109 months even. Folks, seriously. And 79 is in the hours at either time, begins the hours, excuse me. 79,608, so it's 7968, or murder Antichrist 68. That's The Big Short. Christian Bale, once again, Christian Bale. Bale on Christianity. So Colin Kaepernick is CK, which is 11/3, which is his birthday. That's a K and a C. Colin C, Kaepernick K, like Casey and the Sunshine Band is 3/11, which is his birthday. 3/11. What are the chances? Well, gee, man, I don't know. We got to look up Road to Perdition. That's Tom Hanks, the Antichrist going to perdition. So Road to Perdition film. Whoops. So we need to bring them both. The URL. Nothing special. It just gives you the 44. It's rated a 7.7. So Road to Perdition, July 12th, 7/12, 117 minutes, Revelation 11:7 coded. That's when he begins his road to perdition. He rises. That's stated right there in Revelation 17. Revelation 17, King James Version, Bible Gateway. So we go. And it says, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Road to perdition, 11:7 minutes for Revelation 11:7, the beast rising from the pit. They nailed that perfectly, didn't they? Goodness gracious alive. July 12th, 7, cleansing, 12, church. Stated in Revelation 17, verse 8, shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Revelation 11:7, King James Version, Bible Gateway. The beast shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and shall make war against them when he goes into perdition. They nailed that with their release date, July 12th, 2002. July 12th, 2002. They nailed it. Guess what it is on the rising day? 11/7 weeks. 1/1/7/4 weeks. You cannot make this stuff up, people. Can't make it up, can't make it up, can't make it up, can't make it up. They coded it with the release date of their movie. And they coded everything else that I showed you. That's impossible. AK-47. I had put something I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, it was. I thought maybe I put something else, but apparently I put some football email that I got. AK-47, folks, is nothing more than Trump's number 47, wanting to be the 47th president. A is 1, K is 1/1. So it's 1/1/1, the rising date, fused with 47, agenda 47, 47th president, so on and so forth. That's too easy. Amsterdam Film already did it. All right, sports fans. That was absolutely incredible right there. I cannot believe everything we came across. That was impossible. Love you.